Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B, where we talk about all kinds of things. So today I'm shooting another video. It's the same clothes that you guys are going to see in my other ginger videos because I just keep coming up with new ideas on how I can utilize all this beautiful ginger that we had in the bottom of one of our grow beds. So I love the way it's smelling because I have the dehydrator right here going, and I said, man, I still have like these little bits, like little ends that are kind of like too small for me to really like do the grater with, because I don't have the mandala that actually has the protection piece to it, so you got to use your fingers, and I don't want to get hurt by doing that. And I've already added some, which we talked about in the previous ginger video. I've already added it to honey to do a nice, antibiotic, antifungal type mix, which I talked about in that video. I just didn't walk through it step by step with you all. But I may do that now in another video because there's just so much abundance with ginger. And that's the beautiful thing about ginger, is that you can do so many great things. So the point is that I can smell it coming from this dehydrator, and of course I've been cutting it so the entire house smells so delicious, like the holidays, because in a lot of the holiday foods we do a lot of ginger, so you're getting a lot of those nice warm, as I call them, warming components that are coming from these types of foods. So I said, you know what, I love the way this smells, and I am going to go ahead today and we are just gonna make I think some people call this a ginger bug, but it's ginger vinegar, because you can use vinegar for cleaning. And so I'm always cleaning the house and I look for natural ways to clean, and I often just don't have enough ginger to do this because it's kind of costly if you had to outright pay for this. So today we are going to do this recipe. So what it is you're going to need 2 cups of filtered water. Woo! I just hit the mason jar. All right, 2 cups of filtered water, and here is my mason jar that I'm using. So it's not a big mason jar, but it's going to be good enough to hold the 2 cups of water. So this is just you really want kind of clean water. Yeah, I had a feeling that it wasn't going to fill it all the way up, but that's what we want to do, is we want to get it mostly full, but this is probably going to produce something like a scoby to it since it is a vinegar type product. All right, so I'm going to bring you guys down just a little bit so you can see how I'm working through this, okay? All right, so it's going to be 2 tablespoons, which this is my tablespoon, and it's actually 2, so I don't really have to think too hard about measuring it. It's 2 tablespoons of ginger. I'm actually going to do a little more. I'm going to heap this up because this isn't like finely chopped for me. I'll add in a couple more pieces, it won't hurt. Okay, and then you can see that I have like these extra scraps here, and this is what I had after trying to do all the dehydration and then using the honey mixture. And it's going to require, so you're going to do this, and then you're going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar as well. And I only have the sugar cane that's the organic sugar cane because that's what I have. So, most people would just use the regular white sugar, but this is what I have for today. So this is what we're going to use. And now I am going to actually go fill this jar up so that it actually meets up to here. So it might be probably, I would say, another cup. I wouldn't necessarily say 2 cups, because what's going to happen is, because this is a cleaner and I'm making a vinegar, I'm just using this old lid because it's not like a lid that we've washed and it's gotten kind of gunky. But basically this is going to be what you do, is you're going to leave this now for about 24 hours, okay, and at room temperature, and you are going to, the next day, so like tomorrow, same time, I would think that that's best practice, we're going to do another 2 tablespoons of ginger with 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now you want this, you can if you need to, like, you'll start to see what's going to end up happening is it's going to get this kind of like foamy, like fermentiness to it over some time. This process alone normally takes like 4 to 8 days before you start to see that, what I would say, kind of like a funk growing in here. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing. I like to swirl it around and like make sure it's really kind of mixed in there quite well, because you're really trying to build that fermentation up. I would assume that obviously, since we're making a vinegar, you could use it as you would use any other vinegar type products. Well, let me move you guys up. So like you would use any other type of a product. So I mean, if you're good, you could probably put it on salads and stuff like that. Because I'm using this for a cleaning product, I'm not going to be as like fretting over it as much as possible. But yes, ginger vinegar is actually really quite delicious. I've actually bought ginger vinegar in the past, but like I said, since I have so much abundance of it now, I can actually make quite a bit of it. And you know, this is what I was actually thinking. So I like to think ahead about how I'm going to do holiday gifts. So as you guys saw, if you're watching my videos through, you saw that I did the vanilla, the homemade vanilla. Now that product takes an entire year, so I knew at the time frame in which I did it that I would have enough time to really build that up, that vanilla. And then I bought these cute little jars, and I'm going to be giving those away this coming holiday. So for everybody, we celebrate Christmas here, so we will be doing that for Christmas for my family. I think that's fantastic. And what I was thinking is this vinegar would be also a fantastic thing to do. So since I have so much of it, what I'm planning on doing is I am actually going to suck and seal some of this ginger. And I don't care if it gets a little bit of like, you know, freezer burnt. Hopefully it won't. But I'm going to save this ginger back so that way in the future, I'm going to be making this for my family at the holidays. So always be thinking ahead of the game. When you get an abundance of something, you want to make sure that you've got a really good way to share it with people that they would love. And I'm sure people at my work would actually like it too, at, you know, my jobs. So I can share this love and abundance with them. Sometimes I get stuff and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to give it all away. But then I started thinking, because it smells so delicious in the house right now, I'm like, wait, step back. Let's do something different. Let's give this a try. And then I'm going to freeze the rest of it so I can make this in the future. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so let's get back to this actual recipe so I don't confuse anyone. So what's going to happen is I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours. Tomorrow, at the same or around the same time, I'm going to add another 2 tablespoons of ginger, and then another 2 tablespoons of sugar. You're gonna let this go on and go on and go on. You can let it like actually go on for potentially, you know, obviously you're gonna at least for 4 to 8 days before you're gonna start to see that fermentation process really start to kick in. It's almost like I said, it's almost like the same as a ginger bug. But what's gonna happen with a vinegar is that you at some point, like after these next couple of days, you're gonna stop kind of feeding it, and then that's when it's gonna really settle in and get that vinegar type taste. So always do your research, always, you know, check recipes, check, you know, what I'm saying against someone else who's maybe more familiar with doing this type of processing all the time. I don't claim to be an expert in this area. I am literally just giving you a diary of what I am doing with this extra ginger in my life and how I want to share it with my friends and my family. So this can actually take a total of like 4 to 6 weeks before you get that vinegar taste, but you will be keeping it in a cool, dry place. But once you've done the extra sugar and ginger, then that's when you will know that you can set it aside. So you're gonna do this first set. Tomorrow you'll do a second set of it, and you won't continue to feed it after that, just because you will be processing it for vinegar at that point. And like I said, it is going to get like a foam or a little thing on the top of it here. It's going to be like a scoby, so anybody who's familiar with that type of stuff will know what I'm talking about. But it's really going to be great because I'm thinking that I could just use it in spray bottles and clean the floors and stuff with it, and it's a super natural product. So that's just a brief little extra tidbit on what you can do with this type of a batch of vinegar. So now don't forget, if before you dump this into a spray bottle, you're obviously going to put it through a strainer and then pour it into whatever type of bottle you would like to use. I have one of those little sprayer bottles, and that's what I'm going to be using to clean, and I think that's going to be great because the whole house is going to smell wonderful. Now I know sometimes that people also do this ginger using like lemons and orange peels, and they add some ginger into it, and that's how they use their cleaning products. But for our purposes today, this is what we're going to be doing. And then so tomorrow I'll do another 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of ginger, and there's no additional water that is required. I'm going to give it a little stir during that time, and probably over the next 4 to 8 days, even though I have this fermenting top on it, I am going to probably continue to swirl it around, so that way it's really getting mixed in beautifully and starting that process of becoming vinegar. So all right guys, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to keep you posted on how this turns out. All right, until next time, as always, love one another, be kind, and I will see you guys in my next video.